Okay, so I have my tripod all set up and my easel all set up. You guys have seen this before in a previous video, so I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to get an open page here, and then I will get started. Sketching this real quick in pencil before I put it in pen. There's an octagon window here. I don't know if you can see it if I can turn my camera. I have it too tight here. There's an octagon window over here. The light is probably too bright. There we go. Above the walkout basement, right there. That's what I'm putting in now. And I'm gonna finish that. Now I'm seeing portions of it and it's on an angle, so I've got to make the sides shorter. That way. The nice thing about painting in the field is the fact that you get to hear all these nature sounds. Unfortunately, you hear the other sounds too. But, okay, now I'm putting in the door wall. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. Unfortunately, this got inked up, which really bums me out. And so I'm going to have ink all over this. I did not realize that it was going to be so bad. I'll put some other trees in here. This one has a branch that comes off that way. Oh, I'm getting bit up like crazy. I just put some other bug spray on. My son's bug spray, I love him, but it wasn't getting it. Okay. The rest of this can be covered, I think. And, okay, now I'm going to add color. I'm bummed that it got messed up, but that's all right. It was so loud here yesterday with the frogs. I could not believe how loud they were. Okay, now I need my spray bottle. I gotta see what I got here as far as paint colors go. I should be okay with what I have in my palette. This is what I've got. So I should have everything I need. And I did do a setup. Oh, I had some paint fall out. Interesting. Let me get it real wet so it goes back in there. I lost my train of thought. Whatever. let me go ahead and get started here. Got a beautiful blue sky, but some of it is going to be covered by trees, just like my other sketch. I'm just going to blue it all in, and that way I won't have a problem. I'm going to use my other brush though here. Hopefully you can see this okay, because I can't see my viewfinder very well with the sun. I've got sun and shade, and I know it's going to make viewing this very difficult, but I'm doing my best. I don't know the setup for this yet to film very well. I'm very jerky today. I'm having trouble painting. Maybe it's just because I'm not used to this in Plein Air Pro. I like to be real close to my work, and I find that this platform makes it a little hard for me to get close. I could probably take this gray piece off underneath. That'll work. I'll do that. Now I can get closer. Oh yeah, that's much better. Now I'm close enough. No problem. Sitting here talking and thinking you guys were hearing all of this. I have a problem where I didn't match the color correctly here to here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to fudge it. But anyway, what I was talking about before my camera shut off, my sister and brother-in-law have a house across the street from me up here. And what they did when they came up was brought this painting up, and my brother-in-law showed it to me. It's about 5 feet long, maybe 6 feet long, tall, and about 3 or 4 feet wide, and probably 4 feet wide. And it's a watercolor, and it was done by an artist who is a professor at Wayne State University, and he was a watercolorist. And oh my gosh, I'm going to try and take a photo of it and show it to you at the end of the video. It reminds me of Alice in Wonderland because it's very dreamlike. He was into this thing where he liked to do floating objects. So he's got this girl sitting at a table having tea, and all of these objects are floating past her in the air. And it is just the coolest thing. So I think it's like Alice in Wonderland like, but anyway, I'll show you at the end of the video, or I'll stick it in here or something. I'll figure it out. But it was so cool. Like, you guys have got to see it. I'm adding a little gray into the mix that I had because I've got wood that's kind of faded in certain spots that I need to do a different color on here. Almost matches the roof. That's fine though. In some areas it should. Right here it should. And this. So anyway, I'm going to show you this watercolor. He was a professor there for many years, and he died recently, and they were selling off and donating paintings. They bought this painting for like 500 bucks. I mean, it was a steal. This thing is huge. This guy was so talented. And they're trying to talk me into going and buying some of his work, but I don't have the money. I just don't have the money to do it. I would love to. I'd buy a huge painting of his. It is just so cool. And they got it so cheap. They just wanted to get rid of them. I couldn't believe it. And I said, well, why didn't they donate some to like local museums? And in Wayne State University would probably love to hang his work. And they said, oh, we did. They did. So it's pretty cool. Sorry, my camera shut off, but I want to show you what I did here. I took my number 8 black velvet, my silver black velvet, and to make the illusion of tree bark, what I did with this is I rinsed my brush, then I dabbed it off so it was on the dry side, and you can see when I'm wiping my paint over here how dry this is. There's really nothing there. It's just thick paint. Then I come over here to the tree, and what I did was I just swept this up. It's a little bit too wet though. I'm going to take some of this off. And I just swept it up the tree like this to make the tree bark. I'll show you on this one. My brush is almost dry now, so this should work better. Too dry. That's all there is to it, to make the tree bark. And it kind of gives the illusion of tree bark to it. And then with the grass, what I did was I put Green Apatite Genuine on, and I kind of dry brushed that up like this too. Now, like I was saying with Green Apatite Genuine, it's a granulating gemstone, and it leaves kind of a dark, almost a blackish granulation, or brown. It's hard to say. So it can look kind of dirty on the page, and if it gets like that, you can smooth it out and dab some of it off, which is what I'm doing here, because I don't like what happened. I got it too heavy for what I was trying to do. It's great in the trees though. I mean, you see what it did to the trees. It adds a lot of depth to the trees. Now what I was doing over here when I thought my camera was running was adding some green over to this area. I gotta fix this 1 second. There. Because there's trees down a hill here. So I added some green in, and now I'm going to add some tree trunks in with some gray. I believe this is Payne's Gray. This actually might be Cotman. I don't like it this dark. Diesel? I just heard somebody calling a dog. I hope it's not mine. There we go. So now I've got illusion of trees in the background. And I'm going to add a little more of the green apatite over the top of them in spots, just so it doesn't look like it's all neatly done with tree trunks all in front and the branches all in back. You know, that's kind of impossible, right? Okay. I can't remember what the last thing was that I told you. There were a few things that I wanted to tell you. Now I got to go back and look. Well, this Plein Pro easel works really great. I do find, though, that I need to take this cover off. The one tray that you can use, this one, that you can put on your palette like this to make more of a tray. It keeps me too far away from my painting, so I find that taking that off works better for me. You might be different, but I like to be closer. Now I can get my feet right up against, and my stomach right up against the palette if I need to, which is nice, and I feel I enjoy it a lot more now because I'm not using that tray. And this palette does not bead up at all. I don't know if it did in the beginning a little bit, but I've only used it. This is only the third time I've used it. And there's no beading up at all, which is really nice. I'm just going to clean it off before I put it away. And what I was saying before, I was talking about sketchbooks and how they're not meant to be perfect paintings. They're sketches, they're sketchbooks. So it's all about capturing a moment in time rather than a photo and using that as a mark in time for yourself, kind of like a diary. But there's a book that I was reading last night about it, and I want to read you the paragraph about what it talks about. Tell you what, these battery packs are really nice. This is one that I got. It'll charge up to 4 things at once. It's got 4 ports, and it's a pretty heavy-duty battery. It takes a long time to charge. I charge it all day. It takes about, I don't know, 8 hours, maybe longer. But and I just let it fully discharge, and then I charge it back up again. But it's great because my camera was dying, and now I've got it plugged into this, and I'm perfectly fine. But what I wanted to read to you was something from the book called An Illustrated Journey. Some of you may already own it. I believe I have this book in paperback and this, but the covers were different, so I thought they were different books, but I'm not really sure. This one is on Veronica Lawler, and it's something that she said. She's a freelance illustrator who lives in New York. She also teaches drawing and illustration at Pratt Institute, Parsons, and it's the New York School of Design. But something that she says at the end that I thought was really fitting, if I can find it here. Here it is. She says, "My advice to people about drawing and keeping a sketchbook is this: do it every day. Don't judge it or make it precious. Just keep drawing and recording things. The sketchbook is for you." And that's just it. It's not for other people. I share mine, and sometimes it's intimidating, but sharing it is a good thing, I think, and it keeps me working hard in order to improve. But anyway, it's for you. It's like a diary. So don't worry about it being precious and pretty or looking as good as somebody else's. You're going to always improve as long as you're sketching and working at it. I'm sorry, my camera's jiggling. I'm going over to my thing here. Here is my finished sketch. The color is a little too orange. It should have been a deeper red-brown, but that's okay. And this is the house. And this is what I was painting. Now I cut this tree out here, this one right here, and that one right there. And then I just left that one and this one in, I can't find my finger, that one in the photo, those two. And I took the other ones out so that you could see more of the house. But anyway, that's the house, and that is my sketch. So remember, everybody, be courageous, paint with wild abandon, and most of all, be kind to each other, and have a terrific, terrific Memorial Day. I will talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.